Let's try this again. Third time should be a charm, anyway. Okay, these first two are just conversations I've had with David, and I wish I would have saved all of them, but I didn't. I had sent him text, and he responded, and then he sent me a text, and it had been a while, and I was like, who's this? So, anyway, this is him giving me permission to. I am the father of David Robinson, too, father of geologist. It should be Daniel, who went missing in Buckeye, Arizona. I was responding to a message that you had sent to this phone. So this phone is his tip phone. Um, Anyhow, he goes over and he, um, thank you, look forward to seeing your finished work. So anyway, we got the permission thing out of the way, and um, that is where that's at. Okay, on the Please Help Find Daniel website, I basically wanted the initial story of Daniel. You can read the exact same thing right here. Um, One thing that I got asked was, did the Police Department use drones and helicopters? They did use drones 100% for sure. I was thinking it was a week or two later that they did take the Phoenix out. I believe that's what they call the helicopter for the search and rescue. I will link this website. You can donate, you can volunteer to search, volunteer to do research. Um, if you want to help, the information is all right here. All right. Daniel Robinson was last seen on the morning of June 23rd, 2021, leaving his worksite in Buckeye, Arizona. He was driving his 2017 blue-gray Jeep Renegade and is believed to have headed west deeper into desert terrain. On Tuesday, July 19th, 2021, Daniel's vehicle was found by a rancher a little over 2.5 miles from the worksite in a remote part of the desert. On that day, the rancher reported the vehicle to the Buckeye Police Department, who later did a search by ground and drone. The vehicle was recovered. Daniel was not found. What I wish had been added is that Daniel's Jeep was never treated as a crime scene. It was not fingerprinted. It was in the police impound yard for, I want to say, less than a week. And the Buckeye Police Department told David he needed to get the Jeep out of there, or they were going to start charging him storage. I don't get that. To me, it should have been handled as a crime scene. All information in it processed, fingerprints, hair, fiber, whatever, should have all been collected, should have all been processed, and that would eliminate any questions today on after the Jeep was initially crashed. It had 47 attempted starts. It finally started and was drove 11 miles back here to the Jeep. Now, if you go up the wash, come back out Cactus Park or Cactus Road, West Cactus Road. I'm not sure what this road is. To me, it looks like a better road. It would be the road that I would use. Anyhow, if you go from the Jeep back out to Sun Valley Parkway, back down here, this is 11 miles. The reason that is important is because there was a transfer of red paint onto Daniel's Jeep. These are my notes. Here is the official website. Blue gray Jeep Renegade. Picture. That definitely is not red. Where did the red paint come from? Things that make you go, So anyway, what I did is went on both theories. Daniel had left the well, and from the well to right here is 11. No, from the Jeep to here is 11 miles. So I wanted to know where that 11-mile radius was. I didn't worry about going up here on the White Tank range. If I remember right, it would have put it right out in here. There were no roads that I could really find. If you go south the 11 miles, it puts you right here on the outskirts of Buckeye. If you keep going out here, this was 9.83 miles. And the only reason I looked over in this area, geologists, rock formations, geology, time and pressure. From the Jeep up here is Toyota Arizona Proving Grounds, and I guess this is where they see how fast the cars go, how good the four-wheel drives do. I'm not 100% sure what a proving ground is. Never seen anything like it, but I'm thinking a person, if you was into seeing what was going on, park at this overlook. The only problem is this 11 miles is as the crow flies. That is point A, point B being 11 miles. That's not all the little whoop-de-doos that you would take in a car or anything like that. So, in the process of seeing where 11 miles was and looking at some of the roads, I started thinking, okay, if a guy went 5.5 miles to maybe 7 miles, when you are following one of these roads, it might be a mile from this corner to this. I'm not sure what it is. At one point it looked like a feedlot, but I'm not exactly sure. You have a electrical transfer station right here. But anyway, if you drive this, it might be 1 3/10 miles, just because it is not a straight A to B line. So trying to factor that in, that is where I came up with the shorter distances. I wanted to, well, let me show you what I'm talking about here. If I go miles, and we're going to go right there to right there, 3.8 miles. And that's to the top. You're not going to drive that. But that may also be 7 miles trying to drive it. Because from the Jeep to Right here you have curves, you have washes, you got little dog legs in the road. Even if it comes out into this wash, I mean, it's not like right here's the road, here's the road. It's not like there's a cutoff, so you're going to have to come back up, catch this road, come back down to where the Jeep is. Or you would have to come down the wash. Anyhow, you get what I'm saying with it. Come over here, then come back up to the Jeep. The location of the Jeep I got from David's sector map. What I did is I took this landmark right here, and I may be off. I kind of think the Jeep may have been found right in here. I was thinking down in here, but I'm thinking this might match up. What the hell's going on here? When I was looking for this, I was thinking more along the lines, well site, come back out to the road, come down to the intersection. God, I hate that when that happens. That just kind of how I think. A to B, direct line, and what would be the easiest way to get there. It looks like they do a lot of driving in the washes. Maybe not up in here, but there are roads that drop down into the washes, and then they come across. And I mean, there's roads all over in these washes, or signs of tracks in the washes. Daggs Wash, Wagner Wash. So basically, you have a confluence of where two waterways meet. Is what it is. Right here is the information. Daniel's Jeep crashed 11 miles from the location it was found. It had been attempted to be started 47 times after it crashed. I believe the airbag was deployed. That would have made it so the computer had to reset. And in the process of the computer resetting, there was 47 attempted starts. From the location where Daniel's Jeep was found, his clothes, water, survival gear was all left behind at the Jeep. Police want the story to be one of a few options. Ken, a co-worker Daniel had met at the well, claims Daniel acted strange, but there is no written statement. That is basically what the police say, and I mean, would Ken cooperate if a person was to say, you know, there's some things that are bothering me about Daniel. Can we talk? I'll buy you a cup of coffee, buy you breakfast, and kind of fill the guy out, see where he's at. Did he really make that statement, or did he not? Because it seems like the Buckeye police wanted this swept up, cleared, and they wanted to wash their hands of it. One thing that bothers me, and I could go to maps and look. I have never been any place where I have seen a sign like this on BLM ground. Danger, public warning, travel not recommended. Active drug and human smuggling area. Visitors may encounter armed criminals and smuggling vehicles traveling at high rates of speed. Stay away from trash, clothing, backpacks, and abandoned vehicles. If you see suspicious activity, do not confront. Move away and call 911. BLM encourages visitors to use public lands north of Interstate 8. So we already, unless you are basically blind, we know we have a border crisis. And it just is one of those things of where here's Interstate 8. So everything south of that, basically what Arizona, the feds have said is, we're going to let the cartels run. That's bullshit. Why don't we have our... Why aren't we down there taking it back and saying, look, your bullshit don't fly here? On the federal... These are the federal drug routes where it comes in. Yuma, Arizona seems to be where they try to get it to. From Yuma, it goes to Phoenix, or Yuma and Tucson. I can't remember what it was in New Mexico, and then along the Texas border. But if let's look at the theory of, okay, Daniel was at the well site. He was up here, he met his co-worker, and he did the well testing that he was going to do. The reason this well is a key, and this well has been searched, they sent cameras down and the well was cleared. This housing development over here is what is going in over here as well. And in order for the housing development to go in, they have to have, I want to say 50 years, it might be 100 years worth of water on hand. And so that is the importance of the well. I don't know, I've seen comments where people are wondering if Daniel might have found something with the well that would have stopped the progress of the development. Right here. This is all mapped out, blueprinted for this housing to carry on up to here anyway. And then wherever the developers have decided to go ahead and plan out. All of this is, there is some private, there's BLM. If you hit a gate and it says no trespassing, you're probably looking at private property. If it's not posted, it should be BLM, and those should be grazing fences, grazing allotments. and the gates are there to keep the cows in the area that they need to be until they graze it to where they want it, and then they'll move their cows. Just a heads up, if you open a gate, close a gate. These are the Buckeyes' two theories that they want accepted, and they just want everything dropped. Daniel had met a girl. There's reports that Daniel met a girl, and they were talking, and then she pretty much turned her back on him or whatever, and so he was bummed out and walked naked out into the desert. And then in the crash, they want to say Daniel sustained a head injury when there's no blood in the vehicle. Not that you have to bleed if you get a knot on the head, but yeah, they say that regardless, the story they want is he crashed his Jeep, climbed out of the sunroof, left a case of water, survival gear, came up here, took off all his clothes, and headed off into the wild blue yonder naked. That's reaching, if you ask me. Here's another picture, and that is why I had thought that the Jeep was possibly down in here. Because to me, other than these, I mean, I don't know, it just seemed like it was a lot flatter than on a hillside, but I've never been there, so I really can't really say about that. Let's see. Over here on Please Help Find Daniel, David has this. He got Daniel's phone records, and he has uploaded them in the call timeline video. I thought it was pretty interesting. The biggest thing that you can really do if you want to get good information is come over and watch his lives. He used to do lives every morning, and then he started doing one, well, I think through the summer, where things have just been too hot to really do anything. I think he's gone back and visited his family in South Carolina, and he's not giving up by any means, but who the hell is going to hike in 120 degree heat? I mean, that's kind of pushing it. Not everybody can handle heat. I'm one of the people. I just can't handle heat. It hits above about 85 degrees, and I start roasting by 90, 95. I'm done. I'm sitting under the AC, and I don't care what happens for the summer. But that's just me. But check out his channel, watch his lives, share it. Just anything to help get the word out. One thing I do want to look at, Buckeye Police Department. In 2017, Buckeye created its reputation. It takes one thing to destroy your credibility. You can do good after good after good after good. Nobody will remember all the good you've done, but you do something bad, nobody will ever forget it. The way that Buckeye has handled this, I don't have a lot of faith in them. Do I want to say that they're still trying to rebuild and shed the image that they have? All depends on them and what their actions are. Actions speak louder than words. As far as I'm concerned, just the way it works. One thing about this that I want to explain if people don't understand, each one of these little squares is a square mile. And so this, if I can scroll out and get to, this is the targeted search area. And I just did not go over this far because I was kind of thinking of, on the adventure side, there ain't a lot of adventures looking at houses, but if you're out hiking and you're seeing new things, you are getting to check out. I mean, the kid's a geologist. So, to me, going west had more points of interest in my mind. Did he go west? I have no clue. I couldn't tell you that. You got hiking trails out here. You have formations. I mean, I don't know what this is. It might be barren, but it looks kind of cool. It looks like something a person is going to think, I'm this close, let's go check it out. I mean, just my mindset. This White Tank Mountain, I think it would be cool too. But I mean, it's probably a lot bigger than it looks, but it also, with all these houses and you have a road like this up here, why would you really want to go hang out there when you have wild country over here? Now, the one thing that does bother me is if he left the well and followed the washes and he made it back over here into this could possibly be a transfer point. If he came up on something that, if he would have been there the day before, an hour later, he would have never even known that it was there and there would never have been a problem. To me, that's a possibility. I've kind of wondered about drug cartels being a factor in this. They don't want to get busted, and your life don't matter. That's just a fact. Did that happen? I don't know. I can't say. It's just something that sticks out to me. That close to Mexico, you have all the drugs. Phoenix is a drug hub. I mean, that just is what it is. So, let me see where I'm at. Oh, one thing about Daniel's Jeep, and I may have talked about the paint transfer. Um, on Daniel's Jeep, there was a transfer of red paint. Um, that red paint would be an accident. The red paint is also what made me think, okay, maybe he had taken his notes, he was going to go home, maybe get some things together to go out or whatever, and he was passing somebody passing him, they touched and leads to an altercation, or I mean, I don't know. I mean, that just is something that there's no answer to. The one point of interest that I do not know if it has been looked at is this gravel pit. I'm assuming it's a gravel pit with the ponds and what appears to be. Hell, that could be some kind of a strip mine for all I know. Hell, I'm not sure. This area with the holding ponds, I think that would be a spot that I would want to check out. To search this, I think David's spot on with razors, four-wheel drives, four-wheelers. If you can cover from, we're going to go to this map, and we know that the search site started at the vehicle, and it was probably do this square mile, and I would say that would have been on foot. And then split it farther out. I mean, that's just the way that you would search it. Now, as you get a little farther out, that's where you bring in the four-wheelers, four-wheel drives, and you see a road, you jump on it, and start covering country. You see something that you really can't look at and get eyes on, shut your machine off, walk out there, sit on the knob, start glassing, hike it, spotting scopes, all of that. So, if his Jeep, I believe the Jeep was planted here. I just, there's too many inconsistencies with somebody leaving the well site and the Jeep ending up there. 47 attempted starts. You have a crash. You've got 11 miles after the fact. What's to say that thing wasn't pushed down in there, rolled into that as more of a cover to it. I mean, who knows? Alrighty. My thoughts about this case hinges heavily on foul play. Daniel may have found an issue with the water supply. There has to be, I believe, 100 years of available water before any construction can begin. The area in question is a housing development in the making, so the well that supplies the water is key. Once you factor in the history of the Buckeye PD and see the corruption history, it's hard to put any faith in them doing much of anything. David has said there are people that use the land for target shooting, hunting, ATV use, so there should be somebody that may have seen something, no matter how minor it is. I also have thought about cartel and smugglers without going too far down any rabbit holes. And that is pretty much where I'm at. I would rather try to get David's story out, Daniel's story out, with the information and the facts that he gives us, take it to maps, and maybe let people see what the area looks like, and kind of give people the information to come up with their own ideas. So anyway, I hope this one has sound, and I hope it turned out a little bit better than the last two did. So anyway, I will keep updating these as more information comes out. And all I know is if you go over to Please Help Find Daniel on YouTube, David will answer questions. He's really good about it. If you have a question, all you do is go through your emoji bar, grab the question marks, put a couple of them up, ask your question, and as he's scrolling through the chat, he will answer questions as he comes to it. But it just helps him find the questions as to just chat conversations, because everybody knows how it is when you're live. You might have 42 conversations and you're trying to be on point, and so it helps him stay on point. Alright, I think I covered what I wanted to cover, and I will catch you on the next one. Like I say, I'll update this more as I get more information, and later.